Hello guys, good evening. Today is August 23rd. Welcome to another session of trading recaps. And today we'll do a little different. We will go through some earnings, especially the NVIDIA earnings. We will review what's happening after hours. Why is the NVIDIA earnings so important for the market? Why is it important for the sector? And what's going on? So let's start. So guys, as you guys can see, NVIDIA is only one of the few public companies which trades at a valuation of 1 trillion plus. Right, as of today's close, it was trading at 1.16 trillion. So of course we have Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, and NVIDIA. So this makes it so important because it's a big part of the market, the indices, the tech, the Nasdaq. So not only that, it impacts mostly every aspect of the market, especially the tech that we trade. I know the Bitcoin is down now, but when Bitcoin is moving, that's what they use, NVIDIA GPUs, right? And then AI, the earnings of NVIDIA tells us how the AI is doing. Is it AI is in demand? If it's in demand, they will be using more of their GPUs. And then it also tells out how's the cloud business is doing, right? All these as service providers, which or the cloud providers like Snow, OMDB, um, uh, CRM. Just take any cloud business, right? They use GPUs, they use pins, chips, and that's and NVIDIA earnings tells us about that sentiment. How is that doing? NVIDIA earnings tells us about the gaming sector, right? So basically the whole sector. So the valuation of the NVIDIA, the leverage that NVIDIA has over the entire sector is what makes NVIDIA really important for the whole market. That's why it was so hyped today, and that's why you saw all the stocks and the Nasdaq and the S&P going crazy after the NVIDIA run here in after hours. So let's just quickly look at the earnings. Why is NVIDIA going crazy? What's going on? So let's look at it. So NVIDIA is growing like it's not growing like a $1 trillion company. It's growing like a hyper growth stock. What was the revenue same year, same time last year? That's what I always try to look on these growth stocks. It was 6.7 billion. What is the revenue today? It's 13 billion, almost double, right? That's a huge deal, right? Of course, any value trader, value investor will say, oh wow, it's so high valuation, but that does not matter, right? It matters what market likes or what market wants. So we are just talking about how the results are. The results are exponentially good. How is the earnings? The earnings is also almost 4 times, right? From the 0.51 EPS, and then it's going to $2.70. And what is the and they are doing buybacks. I think they are doing buybacks of 25 billion or something. So that tells you that it's a market leader. Earnings are, it's strong. Earnings are good. It's growing, and its demand is all over growing. Let's look at what it's telling us about the other sectors. So the data center revenue grew 171% year over year. The gaming revenues are growing. Professional visualization is growing. Automotive is growing. They are doing a 25 billion share repurchase program. So all that tells us is that the whole tech sector is growing. Now, can it pull back? Yes, of course it can pull back, no doubt. There will be profit taking, but can it go back to like 400? I doubt it, right? But we are still in a high interest rate environment. If the environment was a low interest rate environment, then the Nvidia would be trading at $1,000 right now. But just shorting Nvidia or trying to say or trading it thinking it's too expensive, it's not the right way. We don't know what market wants, what market price is it at. That's the what right price is. We can just follow the price action, the levels, and we can just trade it accordingly. As we traded it all week. We traded it really well for our day trades. And the other thing to focus now, the NVIDIA trade is out of the way. Now we'll look at the NVIDIA chart in a bit, but let's look at the other sympathies. So we were in this SMCI. So SMCI, very nice swing, very solid semiconductor name. It's gapping up after hours, right? So other names, AVGO, Broadcom chips, they are gapping up. Taiwan Semiconductor gapping up. AMD gapping up. Yes, most of them will fill the gaps tomorrow. They will come back. But at least the overall environment of a semiconductor industry is looking good. And of course, we will have some hiccups about the inflation, about the Fed government, about the banks, this and that. That is fine. That will be the part of our overall investment infrastructure that as a trader we have to look at it. But at least at the fundamental level, we know that how the semiconductor industry would respond after the NVIDIA earnings. So it's always good to have these peers on your list so that you can trade them when the time comes, when the right entry comes, you could trade them. I really like SMCI. That's the one I have been swinging. We talked about in a few of our YouTube recaps. Then there are a bunch of other names, RMBS in the gap. It's traded low volume. OLED, ON. Marvel is really good. It was actually a good entry, but you can only trade few stocks. But this is another good name. Hopefully, it gives a good pullback. MU, it's been a laggard for a long time. Although the other semiconductor stocks have been going. I'm not a big fan of MU, but we'll keep it on watch, see what it wants to do. So MU is there. Qualcomm. Yeah, Qualcomm is actually at a good level for a bounce, for a swing. There's a nice level here on Qualcomm on the daily. Did not really respond much to NVIDIA earning, but we'll just keep an eye on it. Intel, I love Intel. I think it can catch up to the AI theme and AI hype. So Intel is always on the watch list. So these are some of the peers. I also tweeted about them that we should keep an eye based upon our NVIDIA earnings. Now I want to talk about some of the AI stocks. We'll talk about some of the AI stocks or AI that as an investor or a trader we can look at. But let's look at NVIDIA chart. So what's the NVIDIA weekly saying? So as you see, NVIDIA weekly is right now it's trading at $500. The breakout was over 500 over the all-time highs. It's again, if I was trading it tomorrow and the price was just breaking out tomorrow morning, then I would have taken it long. Like all the other trades I talk about, all of the what was it today, FN was yesterday, which I will recap in a bit, then I would have traded NVIDIA long over this 480 breakout. Now since the NVIDIA is already trading at 500, this is my risk level because this is a breakout. So basically NVIDIA can pull back, retest, give me a risk level for next leg up, right? We just don't blindly think, oh, NVIDIA is going to 400 or 450. No, we follow the price action. Of course, if I look intraday on NVIDIA, yes, it pushed to 520 and that was my target, right? So we traded in, I was trading it, I was scalping it when it pulled to 490 and then my target was 520. I even posted on the 520 and it was, let me take a look. Right, so here you go, NVIDIA 520. So there was a 515 was the resistance, and once it's cleared, 520 was the target, and it was rejecting earlier. And yep, you see why was the 500 level important? Again, because it's a psychological level. I was scalping versus the 500. Those were the pullback levels. And you don't really need to, that's how I trade. You can trade after hours, you can trade pre-market, you don't really need to gamble on the lottos. I understand you have small account, but gambling on the lottos is no way to go to grow your account. Your account grows, you follow a system. And and I'm just showing you how the levels work, how everything works. So anyways, so we were scalping NVIDIA, so we hit the 520. So 520 was my target. 520 next, we hit the 520 and we took the profits, and now it's falling back. But that's fine. It's just following its normal trading routine, right? Push on the earnings, in met the target, some of the targets, pull back. Now what are we looking at from here? So from here, between 480 and 500, we don't really have any clear levels to trade it tomorrow, although we can draw a Fibonacci level from we can draw some Fibonacci levels from the close to the highs of the pre-market. So this Fibonacci level will tell us, just give us a risk level, right? So right now you see it's bouncing from the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement. That's not just a coincidence, because it works, right? So you just need to find a risk level to trade with, and then there's a pullback to 490, and I will be surprised if it really gives up all this area and fills the gap. But tomorrow we'll see how it trades in the pre-market, but I will be ready for any pullback, holding the EMA clouds, and then push. The 500 will be the level to trade. As long as it stays over 500, it's a long bias. If not, we let it pull back to some level. If it holds the EMAs, then we will trade it long as well. Of course, you can scalp short, if you want, but we'll see what's the high probability setup for NVIDIA. Long term, I think for NVIDIA, long term, if the market stays strong, they pause the rate, they start cutting later this year, NVIDIA is a great bet. NVIDIA, I love NVIDIA, I love AMD, I like SMCI, Micron is lagging, Qualcomm. So so semiconductors overall are the place to be, I would say, for your trading. No recommendations or buy or sell. I'm just sharing my thoughts, what I think can work out. So we'll see how NVIDIA does tomorrow. But we looked at the earnings and everything, buybacks, solid growth, everything good. So yeah, so that was a quick review of NVIDIA. Tomorrow we keep eye on these levels. Let's talk about some AI names. I should have an AI list. If not, so what did NVIDIA tell us about AI, right? So let me see if I can find the detailed comments on AI. So whatever little I read or reviewed what they talked about on the call, they are very bullish on AI, because NVIDIA is seeing use of their GPUs in the various applications of generative AI in the marketing, media, and entertainment. So anyways, the point being, AI is still the hype, right? Many call it a bubble. That's fine. We trade as long as the bubble stays strong, right? We find our risk and we trade it. Remember the AI swing we had from back from when we started it at 16, and when I alerted it on Twitter, and we went all the way to $50. Even then, everybody was saying, "Oh, AI, it's a pump." But guess what? You stay with the market. What does market want? Market wants to stay in this field, so we stay in this sector and we trade it. So let's see what are the peers for AI that we can focus on. Let me check. Yeah, I'm seeing if I go to Benzinga, I'm seeing a bunch of names on AI that come up, but I might have to look in more. The Ring Central is RNG, is an AI name that interests me. We'll keep eyes on that. But ALRM is a good one. So anything that is AI will be of interest. But for now, we'll keep eye on AI. I know there are some smaller names. I mean, even the even all the chips, all the techs, right, which are involved in AI. At end of the day, Intel's, Qualcomm's, Broadcom, they all will be, the SAMIs and AIs, they will go hand in hand. Now, even the quantum computing, there were some stocks that have been going crazy. I just have to find which ones were they. So IonQ, I think that's a quantum computing name. That would also benefit from this NVIDIA earnings, upbeat NVIDIA earnings and AI potential. So we'll make another video, find some more names for us on all these sectors, AI, quantum computing. Already talked about SAMIs. So we just want to find those opportunities. But what I think overall, this is healthy. NVIDIA earning report is really healthy, and it would help a lot of these other sectors. And of course, on the way, we will pull back. There will be pullbacks in NVIDIA, in the other stocks, in the markets. That is fine. But as long as we know the overall big picture environment for all these sectors, we can trade them, right? The cloud computing. Look at what the cloud computing stocks are doing right now. If you see Splunk, right? All the which use the cloud servers. Look at Splunk and MDB, DDoG. Any software name that is using cloud computings, and that's also is impacted by this the NVIDIA report. So with this understanding of all the sectors that are impacted by NVIDIA, it becomes clear to us how can we approach the market, where to invest, what to trade, and we just have to find a good risk levels based upon our technicals, entries, and then maybe wait for a good market environment, which once change, like I always say, once the market environment becomes healthier, we go to more low rate interest environment. These all are going to be great plays, right? So yes, guys, so this was just my review of NVIDIA overall picture. We'll see how it does tomorrow. If it starts to fill the gap, then I will avoid it, and then we will focus on the bigger picture levels. But if it holds this level, I will definitely interested to trade it long over 500, 520. But my long term, the end of the year, next year, I remain very bullish on NVIDIA and AMD. But you just have to find those good levels, and especially if the rate interest and the stop or pause, it's going to be a good name. So anyways, make sure, are you investing in something or you're trading in something, accordingly find your risk levels wherever. You always know your risk to reward, right? Don't go start buying or shorting something blindly. Always try to find how much you can lose before you find how much you can make. So anyways, guys, now I'm going to move to the trade recaps for today. We had a lot of winners today. Solid day, solid green day. I will show you my timestamp trades, and then in my community. And if you are not in my community, you're welcome to join. Trade with us every day. We talk about all this trading, investing, just a good family out there. The link is in description. And if not, if you're still here, just hold on for our recap. All right, guys, time for our recap. So as always, guys, I'm going to keep the recap. I'm going to go faster through the recap today and show you all the trades we did and the timestamps. So as always, was ready 45 minutes before the market open. We looked at all our what were we going to trade, our normal routine 45 minutes before the market open. I check all the news sources I have. I see what is moving, what is gapping down. Foot Locker was gapping down, Peloton was gapping down, VFS was gapping down, what is gapping up, and what are the major news that's going on. Then we looked at news in detail about Foot Locker, Toll Brothers, Kohl's, Peloton, Tesla, and Tesla was gapping down on a German plant news. So we had all that ready. We reviewed everything. Netflix had an upgrade from the Oppenheimer. That was on our watch list. And always follow my rules at Open. If you trade with me on Twitter, or you are my student from YouTube, know my rules, know how I trade with Ripster Clouds. Go to my website, study it. If you're watching this video, I will go fast and tell you how we do it. But if you don't know, if you are brand new, link is below to my educational website. It's all free there. Go read it. And I would make a big video later on about the complete strategy. Anyways, so our day, I just put a reminder out there every day, every morning, to everyone how to trade the pre-market, trade the open, the pre-market lows, highs, previous day lows, highs, opening candles, 5, 8, 12, 34, 50 EMAs, option flow, relative volume for the day. These are the things I look. We take our first profit at 10 a.m. and then let the rest ride. And as always, my levels were out there this morning on SPY, Apple, Microsoft, AMD, VIX, Netflix, and all of the levels were spot on today. We really killed it. The good thing is, right, like especially in our community, is like nobody's waiting for alerts. Those who have learning from me, they are in it before me, right? For example, Netflix held those levels, and with our news, and it just broke out of the pre-market high and just kept going. I did give 425 calls, which went like 300% today. So I'm not going to go through this recap. You have these levels, you can take a look, compare them, how they worked out. Most of the levels were spot on. And I'm going to go to our watch list. So this was our watch list: calls, Footlocker, Urban, NVIDIA, AMD, APLS, AVGO, Peloton, and I have a bunch of those names in watch lists: SMCI, Microsoft. But then I only trade few. But I do talk about like what are my thesis, what is my bias on everything. I go on the voice, I explain, and then whoever trader likes whatever to trade, they trade that. All right, so FL was a bearish bias, Peloton was a bearish bias, but right on the voice, I saw this buying in the pre-market, and I said if it can hold, scalp long, otherwise a bearish bias. And semis were again on the list. Why? It was a NVIDIA earning. AMD, NVIDIA, SMCI, AVGO, all semis were on the list today for our trade, and we nailed SMCI especially. I didn't touch NVIDIA, but I know other people, nailed it. So basically, we know whatever is moving in the market, we have it. We know what's moving, right? So then I was watching for this ADI. If it rejects EMA Clouds, that's the one which did not fail. It held it and it kind of pushed higher. I did not take that trade, but it was, if you had taken that trade, you had to stop out if it didn't reject, because you see the second candle right over EMA Clouds. Once it's over EMA Cloud, that's it. We just get out, no touching it. Anyways, the big trade of the day, Tesla. All day guidance, guys, all day guidance on Tesla. Let me show you why. So again, right, Tesla was gapping down. Gap down against the trend is a low probability setup, but if you see a clear buying, on the name in pre-market level, you can risk that level and do a starter. You can risk that level and do a starter. So what did we do on Tesla? Right at open, I even mentioned, remember, pre-market level, if scalping long, only scalp, as long as it bases. Gap fill was my ideal target. First target was 232. I gave the stops, moved the stops at 229.30. That's where your stops should be. Move them there. And then we focused on the market. What's market doing, right? And Tesla was holding the EMA Clouds. I told people to put the stops under EMA 512. And this is not me giving the alerts. This is me just showing how is my thinking of a trade and how the trade is working for me, right? And to trade, okay. So Tesla call flow was coming in. I was holding my position. Next leg up, 237 was my next target. And then this is all day guidance on Tesla. Big trade. I actually held some Tesla over with this, nice push in after hours. So beautiful, 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 and trade on Tesla, just amazing. So that was Tesla, guys, the big trade of the day. Then our Netflix trade. Netflix was our number one trade of the day since morning. Proper guidance since morning on Netflix. Vin really nailed it. Vin was on it before me, and he was guiding all morning. And then we were talking about, let's see if I can go back up, show you here. So NVIDIA 424.5 calls. Let's see what was going on with Netflix. Netflix had a news. Netflix had a pre-market breakout. Why was the conviction on Netflix? A tier two analyst, Oppenheimer, upgraded it and had a bunch of other good news, and the market was strong. That's why, because we don't trade blind, we look at the market. You look at what SPY and QQQ is doing. As always, I have my grid of the market. What's market doing? SPY, QQQ, VIX. Biggest thing to note today, guys, is VIX faded. VIX faded all day. My same teachings day after day. What did VIX do? VIX went from all the levels I gave in the morning in Excel sheet. It broke all those levels, faded all day. SPY and QQQ all day long, and that's why Netflix was all day long. I was giving the resistance levels, I kept some lotos and then finally pulled back. I stopped out. Remember, when the stock has traded like 150% of an ATR, that's kind of a good target to get out as well, like 100% of their average true range or 150%. So that was Netflix, guys. So then we quickly gonna go through Foot Locker and Nike. I was short in the Foot Locker right at open. I was short, right? I was short here. It was going to 490 holding, jumping holding, right? I took a little off, but I wanted to have a bigger trade. But when it was holding, I told everyone on the voice that if it's holding, better to get out, and then finally it came back again, and then I finally got out. I barely made a little bit, but I did not lose on FL, because when it's not making a lower low or lower high, it's probably not going to work. So that's why you just get out, right? So your entry should be closer to the pre-market levels. In this case, it was closer to the 512 EMA. As you see, I hit the short right at open and right to 512 EMAs. It did give me like almost 90-cent move, but I wanted more. But I did cover a little bit, and I was about to stop out. Then it faded again, and then I covered whatever was left, and then just left it. I mean, still a green trade, but nothing big. So then we were bullish on Nike because Nike was just down on F because of FL. So I longed Nike right at open. I was scalping long, but when it stopped going up, then I stopped out here, right? I stopped out Nike, just a small tiny loss, got a bad exit, but it's just scratching. It was just not an A+ setup. I was trying to play the sympathy, and it finally bounced, but at that time I was not in, right? Because if a Foot Locker is going down, I didn't see a reason of Nike going down, and I was trying to let my technicals link with it, and my technicals were not linking with my fundamental bias, and so I had to get out. So technicals first. Other trade today, guys, Meta, right from our levels today. Meta, let's see, Meta. All right, guys, Meta pullback adds, looking to add with the market push. Hold of the EMA Clouds. Meta all day long into the 298 resistance. Even now it held the EMA Clouds and it pushed. So yeah, Meta was good, guys. So that was Meta. Let me quickly see if something else I missed. Yes, Baidu trade. Baidu was a beautiful trade. Still swinging Baidu. So again, all day guidance. What is Baidu doing? It's a range break. It's trying to fill the gap. There is a gap on daily that I shared on Twitter, and it failed once, pulled back. What was this? Previous breakout, new support. Previous resistance, new support. and that's where it bounced, guys, and that was the buy or the stops, and then it rallied from there. And I told to move the stops up. When it's doing that, your first stops were EMA Clouds, then your stops were here. As it goes up, you know, we're looking for a gap fill to 134 to take profit tomorrow. So Baidu was another beautiful trade. So yeah, so I guess hopefully I did not, yeah, there was this penny stock. It was good today. Then everybody was on it on the trading floor. Very good guidance. That was good. SMCI. I'm running at 30 minutes of my video, so I don't want to take it too long. But we were on SMCI. You can go on Twitter, see my SMC idea, and we were day trading it as well because of the semiconductors. And if you see, my price alerts all day were breaking out on SMCI. So SMCI was just beautiful. Tesla and Netflix were the biggest trades of the day, and the Baidu, and yep, BSCIG in small was really good. So I don't have time to talk about some of the swings that I was putting in, like UPST, this Roku. You know, they started to move. We'll see how they do tomorrow, and SMCI. So that's about it, guys. Very good day. I hope you learned something on my NVIDIA analysis. I hope you learned some of these setups we traded today, and why we traded Netflix, and preparation. If you join up, you want to trade with me, join our community, learn, educate, come join. Links are in the bio, links in the description, and or follow me on Twitter. Any questions, ask me on YouTube. Here to help everybody shorten their learning curve. Thank you so much, and see you tomorrow.